What's up? What's up? What's up? I hope everyone is doing well. Let me check the audio on my phone and make sure it's coming through clearly. Give me 1 second, y'all. Trying to pull it up on my phone. All right, good stuff. We have clear audio. Let me type a message in the chat. Welcome to today's Community Scholarship Chat. It is Sunday, January 19th, 2020. This year is flying by already. We're 19 days. 19 days have already passed in 2020. I can't believe it. This thing is always doing something crazy. It says it's unable to connect to the chat, so I'm probably going to have to check the chat from my phone instead of checking it from my laptop. So, yeah, I couldn't even see your messages, sister or Cab. What's up, Cab? What's up, sis? I hope all is well. Thank you for joining. In advance, let me get ahead and get to, like my grandma says, get to the rooter to the tutor, like I'm going to address it as it is. That third video, I've been editing it. There are a couple things I wanted to add before I released it out to you all. It's called Purpose Over Passion. And so that's a video for the Over series. I don't know if you remember the video I dropped in November titled Generational Mindsets Over Generational Wealth. But I dropped another video. I'm going to drop another video for that series today. And that'll be the third video that was supposed to have gone up before I went live today. So it's already shot, edited. I just got a couple more clips I need to add into there before I upload it and get it to you all. But if you're new to this and what this is Dough for Degrees Community Scholarship Chat. Some of you may know it as a weekly YouTube live Q&A where I answer any questions you have about scholarships. I address any concerns you may have about something we shared, something you want us to talk about. It's a perfect opportunity, I guess, really to get to know me, to hear updates about the company, to just see something different than what you see every week. You know, we upload content every week. So it's just something a little bit different. But it's I created this to mimic something that was a turning point for me in my scholarship journey, which was a conversation with my parents. And I had a speaking engagement in Roanoke, Virginia on Monday of last week. So Monday, Monday, January 13th, I traveled to Roanoke, Virginia to speak to the students. And we were talking, and one thing I asked them, I said, hey, who's talking to you about how to pay for college? They said, no one. I said, well, who's telling you to go to college? They said, everyone. And so I created this space for us to have a conversation every week, every Sunday, because it's important just to have these conversations for you to be able to ask any question you have about scholarships, college funding, what have you, and to get an answer. And then it also gives me an opportunity to reflect on what I produced last week and to give you updates on the company, what happened this week. And just it's a good community space. Anytime you're trying to build something, the strength of what you're building is determined by the strength of the community. Thinking about a company and company culture, the strength of a company is strongly determined by the strength or the, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, camaraderie between the employees, between the people who are running the company, doing the day-to-day activities to sustain the company. And so I'm hoping to build a stronger community. There's some things I'm going to start throwing into this probably later on this year to hopefully get more people on to it actively every single Sunday. But for those of you who join consistently, thank you in advance. What's up, No Sellout? I hope all is going well. Good to see you in the chat. Once again, y'all know I'm looking at my phone because the chat's not working on my computer. Don't know why. But my name is Danielle Jeffers. I'm the founder of Dough for Degrees, LLC. Dough for Degrees is a scholarship coaching company where we teach students how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. I graduated debt-free from Virginia Tech on May 17th, I think, of 2019, having earned more than $200,000 in scholarships. I might be a little slow today. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I was up working on the project, so I didn't get the amount of sleep I usually get. But what happened this past week? So I had a speaking engagement in Roanoke. I was taking care of some things for the College of Southern Maryland opportunity next month, February 1st and February 8th on Saturday. I said I would get that video to you all last week, but I had to finish some other projects. So that's the top of the list for this week, as well as a video I'm going to send to the YFL Youth Financial Literacy Foundation, the parent company, Financial Education Services, because they're having their annual, I don't know if they call it a conference or a convention every single year. And it's in February. And so I'm going to shoot a video upload it to the channel, and send them the link as a previous winner for them to share with their audience. So stay tuned to that. Those are 2 things that will be uploaded this week. But the CSM opportunity, if you don't know what's going on, that's right, go Hokies. Yes, no sellout. Yes. If you don't know what's going on, I'll be a professor at the College of Southern Maryland in February. And I released a blog post. I don't know if y'all follow the blog on my website at dofordegrees.com. Let me pull that up right quick just to drop the link in the chat. I can't drop it that way. Well, when I go back and edit, I'll put it in there. If you want to get it before I go back and edit later this week, just go to the site, dofordegrees.com, click on the blog tab, and the latest blog post is something I wrote at like 12 o'clock this morning. Just reflecting on how quick things are starting to turn around. Like I was a student a year ago, and then I graduated 8 months ago, and in less than a month, I'll be a professor. And just seeing that timeline and also seeing how that's lined up with my spiritual experience is something I just want to share in a blog post and get it out to the world. So if you're interested in checking that out, go ahead and check that out. If you want to register for that class, that information is in that blog post as well. So it's more information is coming, but the stuff you need right now is already available, and I've been selling you for a couple of weeks. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. If you've been telling people, thank you for staying tuned. Everything. Today, what I want to do, y'all know the Taco Bell scholarship opportunity closes on January 23rd, and today is the 19th, so there are 4 days left. I uploaded a video yesterday called The Final Reminder about the Taco Bell scholarship, and I wanted to give everyone a final reminder, let you know that there are videos on the channel to support you as you apply for that scholarship, and also make you aware of the notification deadline. Because I've been receiving a lot of comments from people about the YFL scholarship, like, well, when are they going to tell us if we won or not? And they didn't announce that. That wasn't in the terms and conditions of that scholarship. It wasn't on the site. And so I've been asking people to contact the organization and ask them, because I don't know. I just let you know about the scholarship. I don't know when they're going to tell the people. What I do remember is them calling me before the end of January when I won in 2015 and letting me know that I need to be in Vegas very soon to go get the scholarship in February. So most scholarship organizations do, if you've won the scholarship, they're going to let you know. Now, if you applied and you didn't win, the majority of scholarship organizations do not let you know. They will only contact you if you've won. I'll put it that way. They only contact you if you won. Now, keep in mind, every scholarship is different. So sometimes they may have on that page like, hey, we're going to contact you whether you won or not, and just let you know, thank you for applying. That's what I would do personally, but everyone's organization is different. The way they provide scholarship opportunities to people are different. So what you want to do, step number 1 is check the website. See what's on the website. If it's a paper application, if you picked up this application from an office or your guidance counselor gave it to you, see if the information is in that document itself. If it's not, go ahead and contact the organization responsible, or the person responsible for providing the scholarship, and ask them when you'll hear back from them. And if you don't hear back from them by that deadline, I always say give them a couple of days and then hit them back up again and be like, hey, the deadline's passed that you said you would notify me. Would you please just let me know what the updates are, what the steps are moving forward? Because I don't want people to get stuck and the fact that they haven't heard from someone, so they let that stop them from applying for scholarships. Because I know students who've done that, and that's not a wise decision, because these deadlines are passing every single day. Like, scholarships are open every day of the year. They're open every day of the year. And so you can't hold your breath to wait to hear from someone else. And I made that mistake very early on in my scholarship journey. I applied for the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship, which is a full ride scholarship through your bachelor's degree with the potential for it to pay for your master's degree and your PhD. They're no longer offering this scholarship. This one scholarship required 10 essays. I wrote all 10 essays, and it was a national scholarship, and I didn't win it, but I submitted that one and submitted a couple others. I was like, okay, I think I'm good. Like, I'm gonna get the Bill Gates scholarship. And when I found out I didn't win that one, it broke my heart. I cried, and I said, you know what? I think I'm done with this whole scholarship process, because that was 10 essays. That was a lot of work. This is for the birds. I'm not doing this anymore. Forget it. And I remember calling my aunt in Philly because she was helping me with it. I called my aunt in Philly and she said, you know what? You got a week to cry it out, to get it all out of your system. And then you need to get back to work. And so I say that from personal experience of don't wait to hear back from an organization to know whether you should keep applying for scholarships. Apply for the scholarships anyway. And if you so happen to get an abundance, then hey, now you got leverage. You know what to do, what you can't do, what have you. And so just make sure that you are taking advantage of every day. You're putting in your work, putting in and laying the bricks, because whether you know it or not, I say it all the time, time is an asset. It's one thing we can't control. It's one thing we can't guarantee, but we need it to do everything. And so you need time to brush your hair. You need time to tie your shoes. You need time to apply for scholarships. And trust and believe this time that you have to earn these scholarships, there's a small window of opportunity. And if you let that go because you are procrastinating or being lazy or just not being attentive to what you need to do in this moment, you're going to live your life with regrets. And that's one of the worst feelings you can have in life. So I'm really going to open it up today. I want to take questions. I know I usually come with a lot of scenarios. While I'm waiting for questions to come in, I'm looking at my phone because y'all know I can't see the chat on my computer. But while I'm waiting for questions to come in, I'm going to do another how to win a scholarship scenario. Before last week, I gave a how to win a scholarship scenario, and we talked about Bob or Barbara, who would win that scholarship. And if you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch it. You'll notice that I'm changing up the way what do they call it, thumbnail of the scholarship community chats, the way they look, community scholarship chats, the way they look, because I'm trying to put the topics on there. So I'm sorry if you can't really read it on your phone. I'm going to try to figure out how to blow up that font today or later this week when I edit this video. But just some stuff to grab your attention, because this is a 30-minute video and people will be like, well, what is she talking about for 30 minutes? It's a 30-minute video because we're doing Q&A and trying to get some insight into what you need help with and also giving you updates on the company. My dad said, never give up. Success is always out there. Exactly. Perseverance always wins. No matter how bad you're feeling, no matter how tough things get, the only way you're going to see a success is if you keep going. And so the mindset should be progress, not perfection. You're not seeking to be perfect, but you're seeking to make progress. So therefore, you're always better this time than you were last time. My sister asked, can you go into more detail of how you dealt with rejection? That's a great question. Can I go into more detail about how I dealt with rejection? I will say, let me preface what I'm getting ready to say by saying this. Scholarships prepare you for life. I've said this before, but scholarships are the best training field for life, because you're going to deal with rejection, learning how to budget your money and calculating your expenses, and also calculating your potential income. And if you have an abundance of money like I did, knowing how to budget to pay for unexpected expenses in college, whether that's a $200 textbook increase, because you got to buy a darn access code to do your homework, which I think is stupid, but I understand it. Or having to buy a winter coat. So scholarships prepare you for life. They teach you how to manage your time, your money, teach you how to write, pitch yourself, apply for different opportunities, and just help separate yourself from everyone else. Now, in the midst of that, you're not going to win every scholarship you apply for. And so the best way I've learned to deal with rejection is controlling what you can control. Control what you can control, which is your reaction to the situation, and also your mindset. The game of life is played above the shoulders, meaning it's played in your mind. Your decisions you make in your mind impact the way you live your life and how you experience and encounter different things. And so if you can control your mind and train your mind, your body will follow. I'll say it again, train your mind and your body will follow. Let's apply it to this, and I'm going to apply it back to scholarships, but let's apply it to fitness and a fitness journey. Right now it's January. People probably kicked off the year with a lot of weight loss goals and New Year's resolutions and all these things they want to do to live a better lifestyle. That's great. You've made this mental decision in your mind that you're going to lose weight. But if you haven't trained your mind, and what I mean by train is simply discipline. If you haven't disciplined yourself and committed to the process of weight loss, knowing that you can't eat certain things at certain hours, and knowing you can only put so much of this in your body, and discipline yourself to say, no, I won't do that, then you will continue to do it because you haven't trained your mind. You're giving in and you're making decisions off of emotions. And so I'm going to tie that back to scholarships. If you're if you're losing scholarships, if you're not winning the scholarships you need, and you haven't trained your mind to say, against all odds, no matter how hard this gets, I'm going to keep going, you will give in and have an emotional response when you should have an intellectual response. And let me tie this back even further. When it's time for that $15,000 semester bill to be paid by August, especially those of you who are going to school this fall, they are not going to look at you and say, how do you feel? Do you feel like paying your bill today? Oh, how are you feeling about paying for college? They're not going to ask you that. They're going to ask, do you have the money or not? If you don't, you got to take out a student loan. You can pay interest. You can delay the beginning of your college career by going to get a job, going somewhere else. And so the first step to dealing with rejection is to train your mind. And that means you have to make a decision up here to say, I am committed to the process of a debt-free degree. I'm committed to the process and the journey of pursuing my dreams. I will open myself up to the possibility of hearing no 1 million times before I hear yes. And once you give yourself the room to take that in, and there's 3 things you have to do in life to be successful. You have to first acknowledge something. Acknowledge that it exists, that it's a real thing. Number 2, accept that it is a real thing. And 3, take action. Acknowledge, accept, and take action. Acknowledge the fact that you may not win every scholarship. Accept it in your mind and in your heart that their opinion of you doesn't define you. If they tell you no, no means not now. They just told you no right now. That doesn't mean they won't tell you yes later, or you won't get the opportunity you need later. But acknowledge the fact that you won't win every scholarship. Accept the fact that, God, what did I just say? Accept the fact that it is a process. You're going to have to take certain steps to get to your success, and then take action and keep going anyway. That's how I dealt with rejection, sister. Hope that helps. Acknowledge, accept, and take action. I'm still open to Q&A. Whatever questions y'all have, drop them in the comment below. Comment section in the chat box, whatever this thing is called. Drop it below. Let me know what I can do to help you. Thank you, sister, for the feedback. Let's see. Do I want to take that route? No, I don't want to go there today, because I had a conversation with my mother yesterday that really opened my eyes to life and the importance of living your life to the fullest and doing everything you can with every day you have. I'll just say it right there. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to go into it the way we went into it yesterday. But a scholarship, I'm going to give you a how to win a scholarship scenario while I wait for the next question to come in. How to win a scholarship scenario. So last week we talked about Bob or Barbara. Now this week we're going to talk about letters of recommendation. Let's say, for instance, you're applying for a scholarship that asks you to have 2 letters of recommendation. And keep in mind, letters of recommendation can't come from family members, like close family members. They can't come from your friends. They have to come from someone who's your superior, for instance, a teacher, a coach, a professor, something like that, someone like that. They have to come from someone who's watched you do work. They've led you or mentored you in some way. Now, in some capacities, these people who are your teachers and your coworkers, your supervisors, they can be your friends. I mean, there's no rule against it. But on paper, you need to be able to distinguish them professionally and not just say, oh, this is my friend writing my letter of recommendation. No, they hold a professional position of power over you. They've seen you do your work. They can speak to that. And so let's look at how to win a scholarship scenario from the letter recommendation standpoint. Now, when you're submitting a scholarship, you heard me. When I talk about scholarships, I often talk about it in triangles. The scholarship process, as I've told you before on this channel, requires you to do 3 things, the same 3 things over and over again. Find scholarships, apply for them, and submit them. The same reason you can use that triangle or that principle when you're actually looking to win scholarships. Scholarships require you to say something. It's for you to speak about your leadership skills, your integrity, your education, your ambition, your goals. It requires you to submit proof that supports those things. So for instance, if you're talking about your academic performance, then they may ask for a copy of your transcript, and they have to have someone who verifies or edifies you to connect both of those dots. And so if you're looking at your academic performance, then you have what you said. You said you have a 4.2 GPA. Your transcript should verify that, and then a letter of recommendation from your teacher should support the fact that you have great study habits and you have that high of a GPA. And so when you're asking for a letter of recommendation, here's the scenario. Let's say you're applying for a $5,000 scholarship, and it asks you for a letter of recommendation from a teacher who can speak to your discipline and behavior in the classroom and also your academic performance. Let's say, for instance, we have two teachers, Mr. Jones and Miss May. Oh, I forgot I can't leave the chat. Okay, Mr. Jones is your math teacher. Mr. Jones is your math teacher, and he's going to, you have a C average in math, and you're trying to win this $5,000 scholarship about your academic performance. You have a C average in math, but Mr. Jones knows you very well. Now, Miss May, you have a B+ average in reading or English, whatever you want to call it. You have a B+ average in English, but Miss May doesn't know you as well. And when I say know you, I mean you don't go up and speak to Miss May after class. You don't greet her when you walk in the classroom. You just come in, sit down, take notes, do what you're supposed to do, and that's all you do. Mr. Jones, you go and see Mr. Jones before class. You say hello to Mr. Jones before class. You speak to him after class. You help him clean up the class. You clean the whiteboard. Now he knows you, okay? So once again, Mr. Jones, who you know very well, but you have a C in his class. Miss May, she doesn't know you that well, and you have a B+. We're talking about academic performance. You have to submit a letter of recommendation to compliment your to talk about your academic performance and how great of a student you are. Somebody drop a comment below about who you would ask to write this letter of recommendation for you, Mr. Jones or Miss May. Somebody just drop a comment. I'm gonna drop the notes in the chat via my phone, but I'm gonna wait for y'all to comment, and then I'm gonna tell you why you should choose the other person over the other person. Mr. Jones, so C average and a great relationship, or Miss May, B+ average and no relationship. Y'all let me know. Okay, my sister said Jones. All right. Sis, if you don't mind, drop a comment and let me know why you say Jones. If you don't mind, drop a comment. Let me know why you say Jones. Anybody else on here, if y'all want to participate, this is practice. And when I spoke on Monday at Roanoke to those students, I asked students to come up and pitch to me as if we were doing Shark Tank. And I said, okay, she said an established relationship. All right. I asked the students to pitch to me as to why I should give them a scholarship. And they had like 30 seconds. Basically, just tell me what you want to do with the scholarship. Like, why are you going to college? What are your ambitions? 4 students came up and pitched to me. And I said, those of you who didn't get up and pitch to me, you missed an opportunity to practice. One, I'm not bragging when I say this, but I just won more than $200,000 in scholarships. And so if you're going to talk to anyone about how to win scholarships and you have someone in front of you to talk to, right now would have been the perfect opportunity to get feedback to help you make better decisions in the future. Let me tell you this. You don't get paid to practice. You get paid to play. But the way you practice impacts the way you play. So how does that apply to scholarships? You don't get paid to practice writing winning scholarship essays during the summer while everyone else is outside playing golf and basketball and soccer. But if you put in that hard work and discipline and dedication right now and get that feedback during the summer, when it's time to actually apply for them and you decide to go head first in the fall, you probably gonna win a lot more because you practice. Once again, you don't get paid to practice, you get paid to play. But your level of practice, how disciplined you are in practice, impacts the ability, how well you play. When I play ball, my sister said May doesn't know you exactly. When I play ball, my coach would always say, you play the way you practice. You play the game of basketball the way you practice. All right, so let's get back to the scholarship scenario. My sister said she would choose Jones, who you have a C average with, and May, who you have a B plus average, over May, who you have a B plus average in, but no relationship. All right, so here we go. This is who I would ask for a letter of recommendation, and I'll tell you why. Now, this scholarship is based on your academic performance. So, and I didn't give you all the particulars of this scholarship. I just gave you some small details. First of all, I agree with my sister. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm not just agreeing with her because that's my sister. No. But we've been through this process before. I would choose someone you have a relationship with, because though you may not have the best grade in their class, they can speak about your discipline and your community service and your leadership skills and your integrity and your education. I mean, their integrity and all these things that make you a great person. Now, what could have been the case for this student who's applying for this scholarship is you had a B the term before in Mr. Jones' class, and you slipped. My sister's so funny. She said, "Yay, me." You slipped up and you got a C, but you had a B for a whole semester, and then you took a test and your grade slipped down to a C. Now, because you have a great relationship with Mr. Jones, he may be able to speak to the fact that, hey, this student is a great student. I know on paper they look average to you, but let me tell you, that semester before, they had a B in my class, but they experienced a loss in their family and they weren't able to focus, but they still had to do the test and their grade slipped to a C. But just because it doesn't look good on paper, let me tell you about the things you won't see in this student because you don't spend time with them. That student comes in and helps me every day. That student comes in and stays after class and helps the other students. That student sets the trends in behavior in my classroom. That student has helped turn the engagement in my classroom all the way around. And so that grade doesn't define them. It is an indication of their level of performance at this very moment. But I promise you, by the end of this term, they're going to have a B. That type of support, that type of edification and letter of recommendation will help you win a scholarship. As opposed to Ms. May, who can only talk about your academic performance. Because listen to what I just said. Mr. Jones is still talking about your academic performance. He's still talking about your academic performance. He said you had a B before, but you got a C now. You're going to get a B before the end of the term. He's still talking about it. Miss May can only talk about what you have right now because she doesn't know you. And what I tell y'all all the time, when it comes to scholarships, the people who are reading your scholarship should be able to feel you. They should feel like they know you by the time they finish. They feel like they know you, and it's probably because they heard from someone who really does know you. All right, we have 2 minutes left. This was another scholarship scenario. Y'all let me know if y'all like this type of stuff. I think I might start doing this on the channel a little bit more, and bringing it to the forefront, because it's a good challenge, especially with all the information we provided over the last year. But yeah, let me know if that helped you. Drop a comment in the chat, drop a statement. Let me know if you learned something. As always, I tell y'all all the time, I'm here to help you. Anything I can do to help you, reach out, let me know. The link to contact me is on the About page of this YouTube channel. It's linked in all the videos. If you need to contact me and talk with me one-on-one. Some people may be hesitant because they see paid opportunities where you have to pay to speak with me. That's because you're asking for more than just a general inquiry call, like a 10-minute conversation. You're trying to get some actual help. Remember, this is a business. Dope for Degrees is a company. We have profit goals. We have financial goals we're trying to hit so that we can give back to more people. But that's what it is if you really need a lot of help. If we're going to give you our time, we have to be able to make sure we can still run our company and pay our bills. My sister said, I like it. Awesome. I think I'm going to bring this to the channel and make it another playlist and make it another section to talk about things. Okay. But what else is coming this week? Stay tuned. Stay locked in and clocked in. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe so you can get notifications and alerts of when we post. Don't forget, if you haven't watched that video I dropped right before I went live, the best scholarships to apply for, I'm getting ready to walk you through how to win local scholarships, okay? How to win local scholarships. So go ahead and watch that video and get ready, because this week coming up, we're going to actually walk through the process of applying for a scholarship. I'm going to take you from the time you find it, the time you're applying for it, to the time you submit it. So thank you for watching. My sister said, my dad said, clapping hands, all that stuff. Let's go. Number one. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for staying tuned. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you next time. See you soon.